What's up guys, Ryan here from MudGunner, and today it is Viewer Builds episode 36. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I generally try to do this video every single week. Some weeks I don't get one up, so next week I'm not getting one up, but we will the following week. But if you guys are regulars of the channel, I want to apologize for not getting this video up on Friday. So normally I post Viewer Build videos every single Friday. What happened was we got a lot of submissions and I was not expecting, one, I wasn't expecting it to take as long as it did to edit it. Like these videos take a while to, cut and edit and all that stuff. And then two, we had Valentine's Day on Friday and I worked on Friday. I worked on Saturday and helped a friend move on Saturday. So it just ended up not working out to where I could post until today. So I want to apologize for not posting it on Friday, but to do it right, I needed the time. So hopefully you guys enjoy. We got a lot of submissions. There's like 42 minutes of just guns to show you guys, which is awesome. We got a lot of sub guns of a variety of different types, right? Like every one you can think of, and then probably some that you couldn't think of. We saw stuff today that I did not know of, so I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, other than that, the theme was PCCs and sub guns, so pistol caliber carbines, sub guns. I don't think we got any machine guns, not that I know of, but that's okay. These are all 9mm 45s. We got the Vector, the Scorpion, and the MP5. And not next week's theme, the following week's theme, because I can't post one next week, but you guys could still submit this week. So the following week's theme is going to be battle rifles. So a battle rifle is typically like a heavier caliber, 308, 7.62x54R, 8mm Mauser. I'm sure there's other ones. I guess 6.5 Creedmoor would count as a battle rifle right now, but not a 5.56, not a 7.62x39, a heavier cartridge. And it could kind of fall in line with the DMRs. I know I just did an SPR DMR viewer build video, but yeah, I'm specifically talking battle rifles. So here I have the FAL, I have the M1A or the M14, and then I have the SCAR 17. So that is going to be the following weeks. And you guys can still submit this week because I need time to edit the video. I actually got a submission for this like 10 minutes ago, so I'm sorry that that one's not going to make it in. But yeah, the only ones that did not make it in the video, I get a lot of submissions without pictures attached, and I think people just forget to attach them, but I can't always email you guys to send them again. So yeah, if you didn't see yours in this video, it's only because I didn't get pictures attached, but send it in for a future video, please. If you guys are looking to submit for the battle rifle viewer build video that's going to be coming up, you can send a picture of your battle rifle to my email. It is sales@atroxco.com. Please take a horizontal picture and describe it from tip to butt, and you will be in that battle rifle video. And make sure the picture is attached to the email, please. And then other than that, yeah, grab some popcorn because we got a lot of cool viewer builds to show you right now. Alright guys, kicking off this week's viewer build video, we have this one from Ohio Rides. This is a CZ Scorpion 3 Plus with the 7.8-inch barrel. Nothing too crazy, kept this one simple. It's got an EOTech EXPS 2.0, it's got a Streamlight ProTac 2 on an Arisaka offset scout mount with a Cloud Defensive tape switch mount, and it's got an SB Tactical folding brace. Nice. Yeah, I mean the Scorpion Pluses, there's really not much to do to them other than buy the brace. I do think they have some nice features as far as like the mag release goes, because now they have the button release instead of the old style. It's not necessarily a powder release. Everyone turns them into a powder release, but yeah, I like these new CZ Scorpions, and that would be a really good suppressor host too if you are looking into that. So yeah, great gun. I like my old school Scorpion, and there's a lot of cool upgrades you can do to these things. So thank you for sharing that one, Ohio. All right, this next one comes from Cortez, and this is looking pretty sweet. We have an MP5K clone. It is a Zenith ZF5P, and going through his list here, it's got a B&T telescoping stock, a Lee Sporting lower with a Geisley SD3 gun trigger. It's got a Radian safety and Smoke Composites carbon fiber grip. It's got a Lee Sporting MP5 magazine powder release. It's got an F5 MP5 50-round drum, an Aimpoint T2 red dot on a ScalarWorks 1.57-inch mount. It's got the UTG Pro monolithic handguard for the MP5K, a Zenith extended cocking handle. It's got rail scales, 5 M-Lock G10 solo scales, rail scales RSB foregrip, and a rail scales QTR LT stop. It's got the Surefire XVL2 IRC weapon light laser combo. It's mounted via an Ergo 5-slot low-profile Picatinny rail extension. It's got the Surefire RSR cable switch routed up top via M-Lock cable management clips from Dark Knight Outdoors. And then lastly, it's got the PTR Vent 2 suppressor. Nice, that thing looks sick. That vent suppressor looks awesome. I think I've tried their suppressors before. They have their booth at SHOT Show and the range day out there, so I'm pretty sure I've shot that one before, but Yeah, that's a sick little setup. And then he also has a YouTube channel and an Instagram. His YouTube channel is Cortez Legrand 203, and then Instagram is Legrand Tactical. So go check that out, and thank you for sharing that one. All right, these next two come from Nate, and these are two of my favorites. Top is a Century Arms AP5 running an Obsidian 9 suppressor in the short configuration. It's got a Midwest Industries handguard, a Unity Axon switch, an A3 Tactical Grenade vertical grip, a Holosun LE321G laser and light illuminator. It's got the Reptilia 193 riser, a Trigicon MRO HD. It's got the JMac 1913 backplate with a Midwest Alpha stock. And then it's got a Lee Sporting lower with a Geisley ST3 gun trigger and a Radiant Ambi safety. Looks like there's a trend there with the MP5s. And this is my first time seeing these, the Lee Sporting lowers, but I've heard about them, I think, just in the last month or so. So is this a relatively new company, or have they been around for a long time? Because it's just one of those times where I feel like I've heard about it a lot recently. But yeah, that MP5 looks sick. The bottom one is a RAL 8000 B&T TP9 SBR. It's got the B&T RAL 8000 RBS compact suppressor, a Steiner CQBL laser. It's got the Surefire Vampire light, a Unity sync switch, an Aimpoint T2, a Unity riser, an Empire PBF magwell, and then a JMac Customs AB9 armbar with the folding stock. Nice. B&T TP9 is really on my list. Basically the exact setup you have there. I want to run their suppressor. I want it in FDE. I like the other, I think I like the factory folding stock a little bit more as far as looks goes, but I haven't played around with these too much. But yeah, that is an awesome setup. Between the two, I'm a big fan of the FDE TP9, so that one looks awesome, but the MP5 is sweet as well. So thank you for sharing those, Nate. I like them a lot. This next one comes from Cole, and I like that we're getting a good variety here. This is a Chris Vector SDP in 9mm. It's got a Streamlight TLR8, an A3 Tactical angled grip, a EOTech 512 holographic sight, and then an A3 Tactical brace adapter. And I believe that's the SB Tactical SBA5 brace, but correct me if I'm wrong on that. He says, I wanted a Vector ever since I played the original Modern Warfare 2 back in 2009 and decided it was finally time. Went with 9mm because I already had a Glock 45 so I could switch mags. And in case you guys didn't know, a Glock 45 is chambered in 9mm. A Glock 21 is chambered in 45. But yeah, I agree with you. The Vector is an awesome gun. I got one in 45, but I would love to get one in 9mm as well. And they shoot really nice because they don't recoil straight back. Their bolt goes back and down, kind of at an angle. It's really unique, and I don't know of any other gun that's like that. So you guys should check out the Chris Vector. I've done a video on mine, but yeah, that's an awesome setup, Cole. Thank you for sharing. All right, next up, we have a couple of AR PCCs here from Drew. I'm going to go through his first one here. So the first is an AR9 I assembled from an 80% lower I milled out a few years ago. The parts are, it's got a Silencer Co. Omega 36M suppressor, a Silencer Co. ASR mount, a 10.5-inch MAS Defense or MAS Defense 9mm upper, a Timber Creek M-Lock barrier stop, a MAS Defense bolt. It's got the SIG Romeo 5 XDR red dot, Magpul M-Bus iron sights, a Radiant charging handle, a Magpul MOE K2 grip, a 33 round KCI Glock mag. It's got the SB Tactical SBA4 pistol brace, a standard buffer tube and buffer spring, an 8-ounce solid buffer weight, and then an Edgar Sherman 2-point sling. Nice. Just getting a look at it here. Yeah, that looks good. AR9s are a lot of fun. I've shot them a few times. I used to own a CMMG AR9, but I eventually, I think, sold or traded it towards something else. So I don't currently own any AR PCCs, but they are a lot of fun to shoot. And then next up here, the second is a Foxtrot Mike 45 PCC chambered in 45. It's a fun gun to shoot, but had some reliability issues with it breaking the bolt catch a few times as shown in these photos when testing it suppressed. Ended up disabling that function after getting it repaired a second time from the manufacturer. I also swapped its extra large 13.5-inch solid buffer for a 10-ounce CAC extended length sliding buffer to reduce bolt bounce and increase reliability. Shown here is the size comparison of the original buffer next to the one I replaced it with and a standard 3-ounce carbine buffer weight found in most AR-15s. It works like a charm now though with no LRBHO. I don't know that acronym off the top of my head, I'm sorry. And then shooting it suppressed, it's a joy. Unfortunately, Foxtrot Mike has been discontinued and no longer sells this product. So the gun as it sits, it's a 10-inch barrel, comes with a side charging handle, an A2 grip, an A5 length buffer tube, a 308 carbine buffer spring, and a 13.5 ounce buffer weight. The parts I added were a Silencerco ASR muzzle brake, the Silencerco Hybrid 46, a Magpul M-Lock vertical grip, a SIG Romeo MSR green dot. It's got the Magpul M-Bus iron sights, a Magpul MOE K2 grip, the CAC extended sliding buffer weights, the 10 ounce, and then a B5 stop mod stock. Yeah, that looks really nice on there too. And then that sucks about all the parts breakage. So yeah, thank you for sharing those, Drew. All right, next up we have a couple builds here from AJ. I'm gonna go through his list here. So this one started out life as a Foxtrot Mike 9mm, 5.5 inch. It's the FM9. Now it has an 8.3 inch EPC barrel with improved feed cone for HES, H-E-S. I'm not sure what that means, I'm sorry. Is that for hollow points or whatnot? It's got the Surefire Scout Light with the mod button, and then it's got an Airsock 45-degree mount. It's got a BKF 7.2 inch M-Lock rail, an Adaball STD enclosed emitter green dot with the 1/2 inch riser. It's got a BMT enhanced mil-spec trigger with a JP reliability 3.5 pound spring and speed hammer. It's got a Chop B5 angled foregrip, a Breek Arms flash hider, a Fab Defense Gratis grip. It's got a GRS, a gentle recoil system developed by Blowback 9. It's got a UTG Ambi 45-degree safety, and it looks like that's it. Yeah, that one looks nice. I like the way you have it set up. And then for his next one here, he has a Strybog SP9A3, which is roller delayed. It's got a T2B, an M-Carbo micro comp, a Mech Force hand stomp, a Surefire Scout Mini. It's got a Geisley / Warner and Swayze enclosed emitter. It's got the Ergo grip sleeve, a KD Gunworks 3-stage dampening recoil kit. It's got a JP reliability 3.5 pound AR trigger springs, and then Midwest Industries folding stock adapter with the F5 manufacturing brace attachment. Nice. Yeah, the Strybogs are cool. I have one of the older ones myself, not the roller delayed. I think mine's the SP9A1. But yeah, it's a cool gun. So thank you for sharing both of those, AJ. They look great. All right, this next one comes from Heavy Hitters. Looks like we have another Chris Vector here. So going through the list, oh, we actually got two here. So the first one is a Gen 2 Combat Gray Chris Vector with a Nightcore P20XI or P20IX light with wireless pressure pad. It's got the Leapers UTG Ultra Slim Angled Foregrip. It's got a Holosun 510C and magnifier combo. It's got an Optic Guard cover, an Edge Series handle-it grips, Strike Industries dual folding stock with the cheek riser, and yeah. Did you mention your mag? Did not mention your mag, but it looks like we got a, I think it's a Vector extended mag, just painted. I can't tell exactly, but yeah, that's a nice looking Chris Vector. And then next up, we have an X-Tar EP9. It's got a blast forwarding device, not a suppressor. It's got a Recover Tactical angled mag pouch, a SIG Romeo MSR, and an SBA3 brace. And then it says 66 + 1 rounds for that angled grip up front plus the magazine in the gun. Yeah, those are nice too. They're made here in Arizona, but I've never had a chance to shoot one, but they do look interesting. So thank you for sharing both of those heavy hitters. All right, this next one comes from Tanner, and it looks like we got a pretty nice 22 here. Going from tip to butt, it's got a dead air mass suppressor, a Volkortsen 6-inch barrel. It's got a Ruger 1022 bolt and upper, and then it says all Volkortsen guts. Can't say that word properly. Volkortsen. It's got a Tandem Cross Manicore X lower, an SB Tactical 1913 brace, a Vortex Defender ST red dot, and then a Hightower Armory 25 round mag. Works way better than the normal BX25 mags. That thing is sweet looking. I bet it shoots nice too, and I bet it's extremely quiet with some subsonic 22s. So thank you for sharing that one, Tanner. It looks great. This next one comes from Mike, and it looks like we got another nice Strybog here. So this is a Strybog SP9A1. It's got a B&T stock with the HBI adapter, a Trijicon MRO on the MRO low mount. It's got a Knights Armament broomstick vertical grip, and then a rugged Obsidian 9 suppressor. and then have the tri-lug set up for it, just haven't swapped it yet. Nice. Yeah, that's the same Strybog that I have, and I like it. They're a fun gun to shoot, and yeah, I like the stock on yours. Mine, I still have a brace on there, but yeah, thank you for sharing that one, Mike. It looks great. All right, this next one comes from Brock, and it looks like we got a Palmetto State Armory AKV. Going through the build list, it's got a 2-port tanker-style muzzle brake, a Magpul M-Lock AFG, a Streamlight ProTac rail mount, it's the HLX Pro weapon light, a gray Magpul AK lower handguard paired with the PSA AK cheese grater upper. It's got a Palmetto State Armory gray U9 35 round pattern magazine, a Bushnell AK Optics AK25 red dot. It's got the AK Enhance extended safety lever, a gray Magpul AK polymer grip, an M4 stock adapter with the gray SPA3 brace, and then it's got a Phase 5 single point bungee sling. Nice. Yeah, I like the gray, and the AKVs are cool. They take CZ Scorpion mags, which is also a cool feature about those guns. But yeah, thank you for sharing that one, Brock. All right, this next one comes from Axel. This is my High Point 4095T. I've had her for over 5 years now and put thousands of rounds through it with 0 issues. She is ugly but reliable. Best $200 I've ever spent. Nice. And I believe this one is chambered in 45. I think. It's either 45 or 40. Comment down below because I don't remember the 4095 off the top of my head. But going through the list here, it's got a long shot MFG muzzle shroud, a VZM grip, a Vortex Crossfire red dot with a 3x magnifier. It's got the M Carbo charging handle and M Carbo trigger spring kit. Nice. Yeah, I've shot these once before, but it was probably about 8 years ago. But I remember it being pretty soft shooting. So yeah, thank you for sharing that one, Axel. All right, this next one comes from Daniel, and it looks like we got a pretty nice looking MPX here. So the gun is a SIG MPX-K Gen 2, and going from tip to butt, it's got the Liberty Suppressors Mystic X on the MPX specific mount. I've had 0 accuracy issues with the OEM barrel. It's got a 10-inch Midwest Industries M-Lock rail, a Holosun LS321G laser. It's got the Holosun Raid light with the factory switches. This is my main night vision training rifle. I need to keep everything subsonic and suppressed as to not bug the neighbors. Nice. It's got a BCM vertical foregrip, a Holosun AEMS on a Unity fast mount. It's got the Times MPX specific trigger. Did you mean to say Timney? I can't tell. I think it's a Timney, but it says Times on here. It's got a Radian Raptor MPX charging handle, a Magpul K2 XL grip, and then finally the SIG collapsing stock and T-Rex arm sling. Nice. Yeah, that thing looks good. I will probably pick up the Unity fast mount for the AEMS and put the LAM, the laser aiming module, further back on the receiver rail on the Unity riser so I don't lose 0 when cleaning the gas system. Yeah, that makes sense because the only downside with this stuff, what the MPXs and MCXs is to get to a lot of it, you have to take the rail off, and if you have to take the rail off, then you have to move a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. And yeah, I want to do an MPX SD build here soon. I'm picking up a 8-inch Gen 1 with the Elval rail on it, and I want to send it up to Ronin Arms up in Prescott and have him turn it into an MPX SD. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, yours looks really nice as well, and I bet it's pretty quiet with the suppressor on there. So thank you for sharing that one, Daniel. All right, this next one comes from Luis, and it looks like we got a Ruger here. This is his newest PCC. It's the Ruger PC Charger with the Glock magazine insert. It's got a Tandem Cross Game Changer Pro Squared compensator. It's got the Streamlight TLR1S tactical light, a UTG hand stop, a Holosun HE510C. It's got the green dot sight on there. It's got the M Carbo extended spiral charging handle, an M Carbo extended bolt stop, a Tandem Cross Cornerstone rotary safety, an M Carbo flat trigger Gen 2. It's got internal upgrades, Tandem Cross Eagle Talon extractor, a shock block bolt buffer and recoil spring. It's also got the Magpul MOE K2 Plus grip, and then a Strike Industries dual folder stabilizer brace. Nice. Yeah, congrats on the new gun. And yeah, these things are pretty sweet. I like them, but I haven't got to shoot one yet, so I need to change that. But yeah, thank you for sharing, Luis. This next one comes from Sean, and it looks like we got a pretty nice B&T TP9 here. So going through the list, it's a B&T TP9 factory SBR. So it's a mostly factory gun Will upgrade to the Pro charging handle when it comes out. It's got the Castle / Peace of Mind 193 optic mount. It's got an Aimpoint Acro P2 on there, an Empire trigger shoe, internal Bill Springfield trigger job, highly recommend. It's got a Surefire scout light, and then the B&T TP9 RBS suppressor. Nice. And then that's got the factory stock on there as well. And he has more pictures of it on his Instagram. It's aloha.defense. So go check that out. And yeah, thank you for sharing that one, Sean. I like it. Looks like we're sticking with B&Ts. This next one comes from Jay, and this is the B&T SPC 9 SBR in the factory bronze color. Going from tip to butt, it's got a Primary Arms Systems BDE 9 suppressor. It's got an O-Light Mini. Hope to change it out for a Scout Mini soon for the light. It's got a Samson Grenade vertical grip, a B&T flip-up sight paired with a Holosun AEMS red dot. He changed the factory pistol grip for the Kung Fu grip. It's got an AT3 tactical buttstock. And then the internals are stock so far. Haven't seen the need to change the trigger yet. The stock one is pretty good out of the box. Nice. I've never shot one of these, but they do look interesting. As far as B&Ts goes, I have the GHM9, but I want to slowly collect some of their other ones. I think the main ones on my list would be like the APC and the TP9, but the SPCs do look really nice. So yeah, thank you for sharing that one, Jay. I like the color on it too. All right, this next one comes from Garrett. Here's my subgun home defense setup. Super reliable and super fun. Got it for the BO2 nostalgia. I'm assuming that means Black Ops 2, but correct me if I'm wrong. So Call of Duty Black Ops 2. But it's got 1,000 rounds with no hiccups and starting to keep it by the bed. Nice. Yeah, the Crisp Vectors are sweet. So this one is a Crisp Vector SDP Enhanced Gen 2.1. So that one should have this 6.5 inch barrel with that rail, I'm assuming, on there, because yeah, they've done a couple different variations, but I believe that's a 6.5 inch barrel. It's chambered in 45. It's got the Crisp Vector Picatinny hand stop, Knights Armament rail covers, Surefire micro scout light. It's got the Crisp polymer flip-up sights, a Magpul QD RSA rail sling attachment, a QG sling, an EOTech 512, the KCI 26 round magazine, a Custom Smith Manufacturing folding tailhook host, a Gearhead Works mini tailhook brace, and then a sub-rev sling control. Nice. I've recently learned that those QG slings go for ridiculous money, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. Those KCI mags, I know when a lot of people think KCI, they think, you know, they're not the greatest mags, but I do have a Crisp Vector in 45, and I mostly run those KCI mags. They actually work really well in the Vector. I don't have any experience with their mags in anything else, but the Vector mags do work really well. So yeah, thank you for sharing that one, Garrett. That looks great. This next one comes from Neil. Looks like we got a B&T APC 9K. It's got the Rugged Obsidian 9 in the short configuration. Just got back from getting some new baffles. Rugged was awesome. It's got the GL4 Pro laser light combo. It's got a Holosun 503, an SB tactical brace, and then a Magpul K2 Plus grip. Nice. And then it looks like we got a picture of the suppressor here. So if you notice, he said just got back from getting some new baffles. That means there was a baffle strike, and that also looks like an end cap strike on that Rugged can. You should comment down below with what happened if you know. But yeah, strangely enough, my Rugged Obsidian 9 is my only suppressor that has any damage to it, but it's very minor. I do have a slight end cap strike on mine. I don't know how it happened because I was just running it on a pistol, but yeah, I do have a slight end cap strike on mine, but it doesn't affect the function of it. And if you shoot a lot suppressed, it's bound to happen at some point. But I'm glad Rugged was able to take care of you on your baffles, because getting new baffles is not as easy as, you know, just getting an end cap. So yeah, it's good to know in case I have that issue down the road. But yeah, great looking setup. Like I said, I want to do an APC at one of these days along with a TP9, and that one looks sweet. So thank you for sharing, Neil. This next one comes from Luke, and I'm just going in the exact order we got them in, guys. We have another B&D here. So this is a B&T SPC 9 build, going from tip to butt. It's got the Rugged Obsidian 9 suppressor, a Cloud Defensive Rain 3.0 micro. It's got the Tango Down stubby vertical foregrip, a Holosun AEMS on a Unity riser, a Phase 5 buffer tube with the Gearhead Works tail hook, and yeah, it looks like that's all we got. But yeah, that thing is sweet. Thank you for sharing, Luke. Next up, we have something we haven't seen yet today, and this comes from Rolf. This is a Tommy built T7, and it actually works perfectly. If you guys don't know what's going on, some of the Tommy built T7s do not work or have not worked, but I heard that he just sold his company to another one, so hopefully we'll see some updated stuff and a little bit more reliable design, but I don't fault him at all for it because he is trying to bring us HKs that we can have at home and look the part. So yeah, no complaints with the T7s here from me, but I haven't got to shoot one yet. I do have the T36 that he made, which is the G36 clone, but this would definitely be on the list down the road. So going through the list, again, it's a Tommy built T7. This is an MP7 copy basically, but it's American made. Going through the list, it's got the Aimpoint T2 on it. It's got a LaRue Tactical LT660 mount, and then a lot of HK stuff. So this is all HK MP7 parts, and there's a lot. We got the 3-position stock, the extractor, piston rings, end plate, folding foregrip, which is rare, a firing pin retaining pin, the charging handle, recoil spring guide rod, the extractor compression spring, the safety lever detent, and then the safety detent spring. So from what I'm getting from this is you bought a factory T7 and then replaced a lot of the parts with the HK MP7 parts. That's what I'm taking from it, unless he built it from the ground up that way. But I believe he was trying to make everything in-house, so I don't know. But yeah, that's a lot of HK parts in there. And then just a couple other things. We have the Surefire MP7 3-prong flash hider, the Surefire SB2 suppressor, the Surefire Mini Scout Light Pro is on order. It's got the SIG low profile QD sling mount, and then a GBRS SBS sling AOR1 not pictured. I'm curious how quiet that is with the SB2 on there. If you guys don't know, the Surefire SB2 is meant for short barrel rifles like 10-inch AR-15s and 5.56. I'm curious how well it runs on this. It's got a slightly bigger bore diameter in the baffles, so yeah, just a little bit looser tolerance for short barrel guns, but I don't have any experience with those. But that thing looks sick. Thank you for sharing, Rolf, and I'm looking forward to see what we have in store for T7s going forward. So thank you again for sharing. This next one comes from Ty, and it looks like we got a Palmetto AKV. This is a 10.5-inch barrel, and this is their first PCC build. Nice. Well, that's a good first build. It's got a 2-port tanker-style muzzle brake. It's the OEM one, but plan to add a suppressor. Not sure which one to go with. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great 9mm suppressors. I don't know which would work best on the AKV, but you guys should comment down below for them. It's got the Slate Black Industries hand stop and rail covers, a Streamlight ProTac 2.0 light with a pressure switch located on the opposite side of the handguard, a Magpul MS3 Gen 2 sling, a Holosun 403B red dot. It's the OEM low profile mount for 1/3 co-witness. It's got the Magpul AK grip, an ALG trigger, and then it's got the SB Tactical triangle folding brace. Nice, that looks good. I like the 9mm AKs. I think they look really nice. So thank you for sharing that one, Ty. All right, next up we have a few nice guns here from Stefan. And going through the first one, it's a Mac 5K MP5. It's got the B&T RBS SQD suppressor, a Leapers UTG Pro handguard. It's got the Surefire M340 Vampire light, a Midwest Industries Scout inline extension, the EOTech EXPS 3-0, a Unity Tactical Axon sync switch, an IDS M-Lock to Picatinny extension, the Steiner CQBL-1, a Lee Sporting LS5 lower, a Hoffman Metal Super Safety, the single point bungee sling. It's got a B5 Systems P23 grip and a B5 Systems foregrip, and then it's got the B&T MP5K MBT stock. Nice. Yeah, that thing looks sick. And then he's also got a badass night vision setup. The next one is a really decked out PS90. So going through the list here, it's got the B&T 5.7 PS90 suppressor, a 10.4-inch barrel, K&M charging handles. It's got HB Industries sling mount, a HB Industries Surefire mount, and then the HB Industries Picatinny rails. It's got the Surefire M340 Vampire light, an AOR1 sling, a Trijicon MRO, a CAA Picatinny receiver mount, a Steiner D-Bolt I2, it's the red and IR. It's got a Unity Tactical Axon switch, and then the Steiner D-Bolt is my go-to laser, but due to the high mount, I am unable to align laser with the bore. Currently figuring out an acceptable offset, and laser will strictly be used for CQB. And if you guys don't know what he's talking about, so PS90s are interesting with the way the optic is. Obviously, there's a pretty big height over bore, so optics sitting pretty high. And on top of that, you have the laser up high and off to the left. So yeah, that makes sense on why it would be kind of difficult to zero it. So you're gonna have to really play around with how you shoot it. But yeah, knowing him, he'll get it figured out, and that is probably the most decked out PS90 I've ever seen. So thank you for sharing those, Stefan. They look awesome. Next up, we have a couple nice builds here from Steve. So going through the first one, we have yet again another B&T. I'm not complaining, guys. It's just, this is a lot of B&Ts, so these are cool. So it's a B&T APC 9K Pro PST. It's got a B&T SQD compact suppressor. It's got the Purse 4 IR and green laser with KV D2 switch on the upper rail. No white light, ran out of space. It's got the Tango Down QD foregrip, a Holoscent AEMS in green. It's got the Elfman Apex trigger. It's got the B&T rear backup sight, a B&T reduced weight selector springs, B&T modular safety selector kit, an LWRC ultra compact grip, and then the B&T telescopic length adjustable stock. Nice, that thing is tiny, but it looks good. And then next up, we have a Nemo 9mm Mongoose. I know Nemo arms, but I've never heard of the Mongoose. This thing looks pretty sweet though. So it's got an integrated removable compensator, a Holosun LED weapon light, Raid. It's 1,000 lumens with the remote switch on the top rail. It's got the Holosun HE510C in green. It's got a Unity Tactical FST RAB Fast Absolute Riser, a JMAC Customs front hand stop, a Magpul K2 grip, and then a Strike Industries dual folding stabilizing brace. Nice. And then it takes Scorpion mags and drones. That's cool. I think it's smart to take the CZ Scorpion mags because they're very inexpensive and they are very reliable. But yeah, that thing looks sweet, and so does your B&T. Thank you for sharing those, Steve. This next one comes from Ismail, and this was my truck gun, currently moving everything over to an HK SP5 due to reliability issues with the PTR, looking into adding an Elise Sporting LS5 lower, but this is how she's sitting now. Okay, I've always heard PTRs are pretty reliable, but that sucks if you're having issues. So it's a PTR 9CT601 pistol. It's got an A2 style flash hider, a Surefire M600 scout light on an Arasaka inline scout mount, the Surefire Scout DS00 tail cap, the Surefire Scout ST07 pressure pad, and a Magpul tape switch mounting plate. It's got the Strike Industries stacked angled grip wrapped with goon tape, a Midwest Industries MP5 handguard, an EOTech EXPS 3-1 holographic sight, a Magpul SL grip module with a Magpul enhanced selector kit. It's got the SB Tactical SBT5A pistol brace, a Midwest Industries SB Tactical sling adapter, and then a Flatline Fiber Company brace strap. Nice. Well, it looks good. That sucks that you're still having issues, but yeah, MP5s are awesome guns and they shoot really soft. So thank you for sharing that one, Ismail. This next one comes from Cedric, and this is a JP Enterprises 9mm PCC build. Looks pretty nice. I'm going to go through the list here. For the first bit, this is all JP parts. So it's an 8-inch 1-in-10 twist barrel, billet side charging upper, a 9mm Glock BCG, a 9mm Glock compatible lower. So their lower parts kit. It's the JP/Radian charging handle, their short stroke silent capture spring. It does have the Noveske NHR7 rail, a Noveske QD backplate, a Geisley buffer tube, and then a Silencer Co. 1.5x36 ASR 3-prong muzzle device. And then the attachments are, it's got an Aimpoint Pro, a Magpul QD sling swivel, a Faro Concept slingster, the Silencer Co. Omega 9K suppressor with the GPS suppressor wrap. It's got a BCM angled vertical grip, a Die-Free Co. Kung Fu grip. It's got the Arasaka 18650 light body with a Malkov head, an SBA3 brace, and then a Crazy Chameleon Cerakote job. Nice. Is Crazy Chameleon just the brand? It says Crazy Kinda Chameleon Cerakote job, but to me it's just bright blue. So I don't know. Maybe it's the brand, but it does look good. So thank you for sharing that one, Cedric, and I bet it shoots pretty nice. Alright, these next two come from P, and this is pretty cool. We got Smith & Wesson M&P 1522s. The top one is a pistol, and the bottom one is a rifle. So going through the list here, the M&P 1522 pistol has an 8-inch barrel and an M-LOK handguard. It's got a Tactical Solutions Cascade suppressor, a Smith & Wesson Tower style front and rear iron sights from the rifle. So pulled them off the rifle and put them on that. It's got a Holosun HS403B red dot. It's got the Volquartsen Exact Edge Enhance Extractor, a Magpul MOE SL grip, and then a Magpul BSL arm brace. Nice. That thing looks pretty sweet. And then on the bottom, this is their first rifle that they bought back in 2010. It's the full-size Smith & Wesson MMP 1522. It's got a 16.5-inch bull barrel. The handguard and buttstock is factory. They did used to come as quad-rail guns. Now I think they're basically all M-LOK. It's got Magpul MBUS Pro offset front and rear iron sights, a no-name Picatinny QD mount. It's got the Magpul RLS 2-point sling, a Hawk Optics 3 to 9x40 scope, second focal plane with a plain crosshair, and then it's on a no-name riser with scope rings. Nice. Yeah, the 1522s are sweet. I actually just got one this past week, and I'm going to shoot it for the first time tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, thank you for sharing, P. Those both look great. This next one comes from Joshua, and this is an HK SP5K PDW. These are sweet. This is one that's on my list as well, and I like your setup just by looking at it. So going through the list here, it's got the Silencer Co. Omega 9K suppressor, a Surefire Turbo Scoutlight Pro with a DS00 tail cap and ST07 switch. It's all attached via Gibbous Outfitters mount. It's got an HK German foregrip, an 80-degree locking piece for suppressor use and heavier loads. It's got an Aimpoint T2 on a standard mount with a Knights Armament battery cap, and then it's mounted on an MFI ultra low claw mount, and then it's got an HK German folding stock. Nice. Yeah, I was told, like actually just this week, that you have to change a part in the MP5K specifically to run suppress properly. So I guess on a full-size MP5 you don't have to do anything, but the MP5Ks you do, otherwise you can risk breaking stuff. Is that correct? You guys comment down below. But yeah, he switched to an 80-degree locking piece for suppressor use and heavier loads. So yeah, that thing looks sweet. If you are ever looking to have it remarked to an MP5K, there's HK Ralph here in Arizona that does it, and he does amazing work. He did my full-size SP5. So yeah, thank you for sharing that one, Joshua. It looks great. All right, this next one, we got a really nice MPX. I don't know if you go by EA, but that's what I'm going with. So this comes from EA. This is a Sig Sauer MPX Gen 3 LE version SBR. So from tip to butt, it's got a Silencer Co. Omega 9K suppressor with the ASR QD mount, and it's mounted on an ASR flash hider. It's got a Modlite PLH V2 18350 and an Arasaka mount. It's got a DS00 tail cap with a Unity mod button. It's got a Magpul MVG vertical grip. It's got the SIG flip-up iron sights, an EOTech EXPS 2-2. He's got 5 Lancer mags with it, a Railscales magazine release button, a Timney trigger, and then a SIG minimalist stock. Yeah, the thing looks nice. I like the MPX. I'm picking up my second one here in a few weeks, and that one is the one I want to turn into an SD. But yeah, these things look sweet, and they're a pretty reliable system. If you guys don't know, the MPX is actually a piston-driven gun, which is very interesting for a pistol caliber carbine or 9mm gun. But yeah, thank you for sharing that one, EA. I like it. Next up, we have a Kalashnikov KP9 from Jose here, and going from tip to butt, it's got the Silencer Co. Omega 36M suppressor in the short configuration. It's got the Silencer Co. ASR 1/2x28 muzzle brake, a Russian surplus handguard set, a Trijicon MRO red dot on a ScalarWorks Leap mount. It's got the Russian Izmash Clipazine, a ALG AK trigger. It's got the Russian 49/1 pistol grip. It's got the JMAC Customs SM 5.5 side folding adapter. It's got their skeletonized tube. It's the 6-inch. And then it's got an SB Tactical SBA3 brace on there. Nice. Yeah, that thing is sweet looking. And then his YouTube channel is Angel Silver 47, so go check him out. And yeah, thank you for sharing that one, Jose. I like it. All right, these next two come from Charlie, and these are both Foxtrot mics. So going through the list here, the first is an FM9 in 9mm, which I use for cheap training. Going through the list, it's got a Strike Industries Mini King 9mm comp, an Odinworks O2 light handguard, a CMMG 16-inch barrel and radially delay blowback BCG, which I was able to make work with the FM lower by removing the ejector from the lower, as the CMMG BCG uses an AR style bolt and ejector. It's got a Spikes Tactical 9mm forged upper, a Strike Industries T-Bone OD Green charging handle, Magpul M-Bus 3 sights, a Primary Arms SLX 1X micro prism with a Gemini 9mm reticle. It's paired with a Primary Arms flip-up side 3X magnifier. It says, testing this setup out. This actually works by putting the magnifier forward of the optic for some reason. I guess it has to do with both of them being prisms. The trigger is mil-spec with the Kaw Valley reduced power springs. It's got a Timber Creek 45-degree ambi safety, a Fab Defense AGR 43 grip, a Hogue overmolded fixed A2 stock, a Colt A2 buffer tube and spring, a CAC configurable A2 buffer at about 8 ounces right now, but I might lighten it up as CMMG says you can run standard buffer weight with the radial delay system. And then it's got a phase 5 single point sling. Nice. And that's very interesting, running a magnifier in front of an optic. But yeah, prism sights are a little bit different. They're not an unlimited eye relief optic, so what that means is you have to have them far enough back and your eye in the right position to look through them properly. An unlimited eye relief optic would be like a Red Dot or an EOTech or something like that. So that's why it makes sense that you would put the magnifier in front of the prism sight, because if you put it behind, it's just going to magnify the optic to the point where it's not usable. But I've never ran a setup like that. So again, to me, it just looks interesting, but I'd have to play around with it to see. For the next one, it's an FM45. It's got a GunTech slip-over faux suppressor, a FM ultralight 16-inch barrel, an FM Gen 2 ultralight free float handguard, a Magpul M-Lock rail covers and hand stop, an FM direct blowback BCG, Rise Armaments OpMod extended latch charging handle, a Davidson Defense slab side pistol caliber upper, but I have a Gibbs lightweight non-reciprocating side charging upper on order. It's got Magpul M-Bus 3 sights, an NC Star junk dot. It's holding place until I buy a better optic for one of my other rifles, and then I'll move the mid-tier red dot over to this one. I do that too. I tend to, just move stuff around as I get new things. The lower internals are all factory from Foxtrot Mike, except for the 45-degree ambi safety, can't remember the brand. It's got a Magpul MOE mil-spec fixed stock, a Magpul MOE K2 grip, and then a Fab Defense 2-point sling. Nice, yeah. They both look good, and I've never shot the FM products, but we've had a lot of them in our store over the years. So yeah, thank you for sharing, Charlie. They both look good. Here's an interesting one, guys. So this comes from Den, and watching my videos in Ukraine on free time, thank you for that. Here's the build of a locally assembled Grand Power Strybog in 9x21 IMI caliber. I use it with subs as a home/car/night gun. The local gun name is a Flarm. I can't even pronounce this next word. Tzverkun? I don't know. It says it means grasshopper. So interesting. So here's the build list. It says ASE Utra SL6 silencer from Finland, an Olight Balder Pro Light. It's got a Magpul sling, a Strike Industries hand stock and M-Lock covers, Ergo Picatinny covers, a Holosun 512 red dot, a locally made aluminum extended bolt release pad, a light AR-15 trigger spring set from JP Enterprises, and some paracord 550 on the stock for comfort in cold weather conditions. Nice. And then the thing on the ammo can, is that a wallet? I honestly don't know, but yeah, that's crazy that it's in 9x21. But yeah, thank you for sharing, Dan. That thing is sweet looking, and stay safe out there. All right, guys, we are finishing it off with Giovanni's gun here. It looks like we have a CZ Scorpion 3 here. So going through the list, it's got a fake suppressor, working on getting a real one. It's got the stock CZ iron sights and an Aimpoint Pro. It's got a Streamlight TLR1 HL. It's got a Lighten trigger spring kit, it's 3 pounds. And then a Strike Industries ambi folding stock. Nice. And then he's also got a Magpul MVG grip, it looks like, and a cool paint job. Yeah, that thing is sweet looking. Thank you for sharing that, Giovanni, and thank you to everyone else that submitted this week. These were a lot of great PCCs and subguns. Thank you guys again to everyone that submitted this week. These were a lot of great builds, and I saw some really cool setups in there. So again, I want to remind you the theme for the following week is going to be battle rifles. Describe it from tip to butt. Send a good horizontal picture to my email. It is sales@atroxco.com. And other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. I have a shooting video going up tomorrow because I was a little bit behind. And then I have my SHOT Show videos going up this week. I know it's a little late, but better late than never. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video.